Hi everyone, Michael Balesta with you to recap the Browns and Cavaliers games from this past week thanks to the NFL, Browns, and NBA apps, along with Wikipedia via an internet search. Let's start with Sunday's game at First Energy Stadium against the Carolina Panthers. The Browns won 26-20 to go to 5-7-1 while sending Carolina packing to 6-7. The game did not start well as Carolina marched down the field on their opening drive for 10 plays, capped off by Christian McCaffrey's 1-yard touchdown run and a 7-0 Panthers lead. Thankfully, the Browns were quick to respond as Baker Mayfield went deep to Brashad Perriman for a 66-yard strike. 2 plays later, Jarvis Landry ran the ball in from 3 yards out to get Cleveland back on equal footing. Carolina picked up a few first downs, but a holding penalty on 3rd and long put an end to the drive. The Browns opened up the ensuing possession from their own 14. On 2nd and 12, Mayfield went to Rashard Higgins, but the latter fumbled the ball, and Thomas Davis gave the visitors a short field to work with inside the red zone. On the 5th play of Carolina's third series, McCaffrey got his second touchdown to give his team the lead back less than a minute into the second quarter. Once again, Cleveland responded well to the adversity thrown their way. Mayfield found Landry for 9 on 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Nick Chubb got an important 2 yards on 3rd and 1 to give the defense some more time to gather themselves. Chubb asserted himself with runs of 7 and 13 to get the team across midfield. Greg Robinson had a tough series picking up face mask and holding infractions, but on 3rd and 17, Mayfield was able to fit the ball in tight coverage to Landry for a 51-yard score, and the game was tied at 14. Watching the play at that time, I remember feeling good knowing that even behind schedule in the down and distance department, it was great to know that Cleveland now has Baker Mayfield, the type of quarterback to help them bail out of a tough spot. For me, that was an important play in the final outcome of the game. Carolina continued to play a good first half of football. Cam Newton found DJ Moore for a 40-yard play on first down from the Panthers' 18-yard line. Ian Thomas caught a 12-yard pass to get the Panthers in the red zone, but Cleveland's defense stiffened, forcing Chandler Catanzaro into a 39-yard field goal try, which he made with just over 4 minutes left in the first half. For the third time, the Browns trailed, and for the third time, they got off the deck. A 28-yard pass play from Mayfield to David Njoku of Cleveland's got Cleveland started. Later in the series, Higgins atoned for an earlier fumble by hauling in a 15-yard catch. Landry tried to throw to Chubb on a trick play with first down at the Panthers' 31, but Nick bailed Jarvis out by preventing an interception by Dante Jackson. Cleveland had to eventually rely on the foot of Greg Joseph, who was true from 49 yards away, with 58 seconds remaining until halftime. The Browns almost caught a break as Myles Garrett and Jannard Avery got to Newton. Garrett forced a fumble, which Emmanuel Ogbah recovered, but after review, the proper decision was made as Cam was in his throwing motion, pushing the ball forward for an incompletion. Carolina ran out of time, and Cleveland got to the locker room tied at 17. Cleveland got the ball first, but on the first play from scrimmage, Landry was careless with the football, and Luke Kuechly forced another fumble, which was again recovered by Thomas Davis at the Browns' 32. This time, the defense stood up to the challenge. On 1st and 10, Garrett blew up the play, tackling McCaffrey after catching Newton's pass for a loss of 8. It took Carolina back to the outer edge of field goal range. Though Cam got 5 yards back on the next play, a delay of game at the 35 as Catanzaro was lining up for his second attempt of the game forced them to punt instead. Cleveland was off the hook following their second giveaway. The Browns were backed up at their own 11, and the Panthers were able to take advantage of it as Captain Munnerlyn sacked Mayfield on 3rd and 10 to force a 3-and-out. On 3rd and 8 for the Panthers, just shy of midfield, Ian Thomas took a pass from Cam Newton to pick up a first down, but Greg Williams won a challenge as the spot was moved back to force 4th and 1. Thomas caught another pass to move the sticks, but despite the first down, got a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. T.J. Carey thought that he had an interception of the Carolina quarterback, but he held DJ Moore, so the Panthers continued on offense. Later in the drive, McCaffrey thought that he had a 3-yard touchdown carry, but offensive holding wiped it away. It led to a Catanzaro 34-yard field goal to give the away side a 20-17 lead more than halfway through the third quarter. After an exchange of punts, The Browns took over with just over 90 seconds left in the penultimate quarter. Baker Mayfield threw to Nick Chubb for 7 on first down. 2 plays later, Munnerlyn held as Davis sacked Mayfield, which gave new life for Cleveland. Chubb picked up 8 yards on 2nd and 10. Jarvis Landry came to the rescue again on 3rd down, this time scampering for 51 yards to set up a goal-to-go situation at the 4. Chubb did the rest to give the Browns their first lead. What ensued required an explanation. Greg Joseph made the extra point, but Dante Jackson was offside, but there was no play, so it could not be declined, forcing Cleveland to take the 5 yards. It did not help as Joseph would hit the upright, and the score stayed 23-20 with just over 13 minutes left in regulation. Newton threw 3 straight incompletions, and Carolina had to punt. Baker completed a pass to Orson Charles for 9 to start the next possession, then Chubb broke off a big run for 29 yards. Duke Johnson lost 6 on first down, which in essence put a stop to the drive. Joseph made his 41-yarder to finish 3 for 3 on field goals. His extra point miss looked like it would loom large as the clock was winding down, with the Panthers methodically marching down the field. McCaffrey was moving the chains, and Jarius Wright caught a 24-yard pass from Newton to set up 1st and goal at the 9. The two tried to hook up on 4th and goal from the 3, but to no avail, and Cleveland held with 2:35 left. Brashad Perriman got the second of his 2 completions in a big spot as the Browns tried to work on the clock. So he picked up the first down as Perriman picked up 15. The good news is that they were able to burn the Panthers' remaining timeouts along with the 2-minute warning, but Mayfield could not pick up the first down on 3rd and 6 as he only ran for 3. Carolina got the ball back with 1:04 left from their own 35 following Britton Colquitt's punt. The Browns would not have to sweat it out much longer as Demarius Randall saved the day with an interception to seal the win. 26-20, the final score. In the AFC North standings, Cleveland were the only team of the 4 to win on Sunday. The Browns are no longer in the cellar. Pittsburgh fell to Oakland 24-21, but their 7-5-1 record keeps them in the lead, good enough for 4th place in the AFC. The Ravens lost a hard-fought game in Kansas City 27-24 in overtime and are now 7-6. Baltimore, though tied with 3 other teams, hold the final playoff spot as it stands. Cincinnati is now last at 5-8 after a 26-21 defeat in Los Angeles against the Chargers. The Browns will be in action Saturday night at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time against the Denver Broncos out in Colorado. On Sunday at 1 o'clock, the Bengals host the 3-10 Raiders, while the Ravens welcome the 5-8 Buccaneers. The Steelers play the Patriots later that day in Pittsburgh at 4:25. As for the rest of the conference, the Chiefs and Patriots currently hold the top 2 spots and would avoid playing on Wild Card Weekend. The Texans are 3rd and the Chargers 5th going into play for Week 15. Over in the NFC, the teams in the playoffs include the Saints, Rams, Bears, Cowboys, Seahawks, and Vikings. On the hardwood, the Cavaliers hung tough for 3 quarters Wednesday against the Warriors before Golden State pulled away. Collin Sexton had 21 points in just over 35 minutes of action, hitting all 3 shots behind the arc. Tristan Thompson continued to keep his production up as he had 14 points and 19 rebounds. Zeddy Osman, Rodney Hood, Jordan Clarkson, and Larry Nance Jr. each reached double figures in scoring. Unfortunately, they could not stop Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, who combined for 67 points. As a team, Cleveland was 11 for 32 from the three-point line, and it's hard to keep up with the Warriors as they made more than half of the 34 that they attempted. As a result, the Cavs fell 129 to 105. Cleveland started out slow against the Kings, but came back and took the lead at various times in the second quarter and early in the third, but it was another blowout loss to a team from Northern California, 129 to 110 Friday. Cleveland was better from the foul line than Sacramento, but had 16 turnovers and were on the wrong side of the block category at 5-0. Individually, Sexton, Clarkson, and Alec Burks combined for 71 points. Burks was 2 rebounds and an assist away from a triple-double. Thompson did not have a good game as he was held to 4 points and 6 rebounds. De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield led the Kings with 30 and 25 points respectively. I want to apologize on last week's video. I had said that the Washington game this past Saturday would be on NBA TV, and it was not, as another game aired. The game was on League Pass only. The NBA app said NBA TV under the listings when I checked last Tuesday, so my fault. As for the game against the Wizards, Cleveland picked up their 6th win of the season in front of their own fans, 116-101. The Cavaliers had a 49-33 edge on the glass. The hosts created 5 blocks and 5 steals. They also kept the turnover number down at 7 and shot almost 53% from the field. Cleveland set the tone by putting up a 38-point first quarter, never trailing after the middle stages of the opening 12 minutes of the game. In fact, they kept their advantage in double digits since the closing stages of quarter number 1. Colin Sexton had a hot hand, draining 13 of 23 shots to finish with 29 points in 40 minutes of play. Tristan Thompson was able to put Friday behind him with 23 and 19. Osman, Burks, Nance Jr., and Jalen Jones each had at least 12 points. Bradley Beal was Washington's leading scorer with 27. In Matthew Dellavedova's return to Cleveland, the Cavaliers were unable to get a victory in Milwaukee Monday night, losing 108-92 to the Bucks. The hosts led wire to wire, while the visitors got off on the wrong foot as they were held to 18 first-quarter points. Cleveland played uphill not long after the tip. The Cavs got good, but not great productions from their leaders. Sexton scored 15, but the shooting performance was opposite of the Wizards game 2 nights ago at 5 for 18. It wasn't much better for Clarkson or Osman, but Nance Jr. did well by scoring 16, going 8 of 12. Jaren Blossomgame got a double-double. Dellavedova scored 11 against his former team, but the day belonged to Milwaukee's Eric Bledsoe as he finished with 20 points and 12 boards. As for the upcoming schedule, the New York Knicks come to town this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 nights later at 7:30, the Cavaliers will get another chance at the Bucks at home. On Sunday, the homestand continues with the 76ers at 3:30. Cleveland is 6-21 in the 14th spot in the East, just 1/2 game ahead of the Bulls. As of now, they are 6 games back of the final spot, occupied by the Orlando Magic. Toronto, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Indiana, Boston, Detroit, and Charlotte hold the top 7 playoff positions a third of the way into the regular season. My assessment of the Cavs is that it's good to see Colin Sexton producing night in and night out in the midst of a turbulent season. Just a reminder that the North Texas Browns backers will meet at Fox and Hound in Dallas this Saturday night. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Central Time. Fox and Hound is located on Midway, not far from the Bush Tollway, so be sure to bring your family and friends. Also, please check out the Facebook group North Texas Browns Backers page and hit the like button for the latest updates there. There are many Browns Backers Club locations around the Metroplex, so please search to find the Browns Backers Club closest to you, or do an internet search to find a location if you are outside of North Texas. The text of this blog is available at http://www.mjbolesta2, as in the number 2, blog.wordpress.com. So http://www.mjbolesta2blog.wordpress.com. I am on Twitter at mjbolesta2 and on Facebook at Michael Bolesta. Archived videos on YouTube can be found by searching Michael Bolesta, Roman numeral 2. God bless, have a great week, and be safe.